Remember, the culture wars are not a distraction. They are, in fact, the Republican Party apparatus's playbook. And I can't say that enough, because all across our country, school boards are grappling with proposed changes to curriculum. And it's basically because of a false outrage about critical race theory, something that is basically only taught in law schools, and about children supposedly being groomed if they are taught that LGBTQ people exist. The battle is really intense in Virginia. In August, the State Board of Education was given a new standard of learning guide for history and social studies. It took educators 2 years to develop it, but Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin and his Board of Education appointees said that it was too complicated. So they shortened it from 402 pages to 53 pages. And you can guess which parts of the history curriculum were left out. Mainly Indigenous and Black history. And parents, they unleashed their outrage at a Board of Education meeting. Listen to this.
Our children deserve to see themselves reflected truthfully and accurately in the pages of their history books.
Egregiously mislabeled Native Americans as first immigrants, asserting that Native Americans immigrated from Asia.
Now, Governor Youngkin did walk his proposal back just a bit, saying it's a work in progress. But the curriculum battle is still raging. Nowhere is this battle more intense than in Loudoun County, Virginia. This is a wealthy slice of Northern Virginia that is slowly shifting from red to blue and becoming more diverse. And I want to welcome Pastor Michelle Thomas. She is the president of the NAACP Loudoun County branch and someone that knows a little something about what's going on in Virginia. Pastor, thank you so much for being here. The Washington Post analyzed the original proposals against Governor Youngkin's changes earlier this month. And I want to let's just look at kindergarten. The original guidelines suggest that students learn about a wide variety of holidays and traditions, including Indigenous Peoples Day, Thanksgiving, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, Juneteenth, and the 4th of July. But Governor Youngkin's guidelines initially only mentioned President's Day. There was, in fact, no mention of MLK Day until middle school. What? Now, a revision was released following the backlash. But Pastor Thomas, just give me your thoughts about this, because I'm just trying to figure out if they weren't learning about MLK Day till middle school, are they going to work on it in school on MLK Day? Just make it make sense.
Sure. It doesn't make sense. Thank you so much, Symone, for having me here. It absolutely does not make sense. These children who are 5 years old when they start school, they will have celebrated 5 times Juneteenth. They will have celebrated 5 times Dr. Martin Luther King Day, but they will not hear and learn about all that Dr. King had done until they're actually in the 7th grade. What makes it so disgusting, what makes it so dangerous is that from K to 5, most of our Black history is stripped away. In fact, Dr. Martin Luther King does not appear in the curriculum at all, even though he is the single most influential Black man in history in America. Guess what? He's not in the curriculum. They don't actually get a lesson about him until they get to 7th grade. This is absolutely intentional.
You said it's intentional, and I want to remind people that Loudoun County specifically has a very long history of racial tension. Its schools and community are sites, they were some of the last in our country to desegregate. Students of color in the county say that they still feel racism in class, and the school system's recent efforts to address it caused a huge uproar. So talk to me a little bit about that dynamic and how it plays into perhaps what we are seeing play out on the ground in the county and in the state at large.
So Loudoun County is actually ground zero for all things CRT, critical race theory. Loudoun County is the place where the governor has really started and launched his tip line, which has netted 0 results of anyone complaining about CRT because it doesn't exist. Loudoun County is also that place who in the Governor Northam's administration, we launched an investigation to our own district, Loudoun County Public Schools, citing discrimination. So African Americans did not and could not receive access to challenging curriculum. We couldn't get into those STEM schools like AOL and TJ. And so we launched the investigation. the AG actually found that it was credible evidence of discrimination. That was the single most largest investigation that happened before or since Brown versus Board of Education. Loudoun County is absolutely the place that has been targeted to map out how the GOP would actually take over school boards and springboard politicians into state, local, and federal offices.
This is why this is something we are going to watch. I'm going to be covering this story in Virginia and across the country. Thank you, Pastor Michelle Thomas, for joining us today. I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And stay tuned and watch what's up next.
Thank you. She said, watch what's up next, because I'm bringing in a woman who has been an education equity warrior in the Commonwealth of Virginia. State Senator Jennifer McClellan is here. She represents Virginia's 9th District. Senator McClellan, the streets were very happy that you were coming on the show. I heard a lot from folks about your appearance, and I feel like it's because you have been just laser focused on this issue. You wrote a letter to the Board of Education about your personal experience as an African-American woman and as a product of Virginia Public Schools. And in the letter, you say, in part, that throughout my life, I have seen how a lack of awareness and understanding of the complicated history of the African-American experience in America and our Commonwealth has stoked racial tensions. You go on to say you learned very little in school about your state's often brutal African-American history. I have my thoughts, but why do you think that history is not being taught?
Well, because, first of all, thank you for having me, Symone. And I think people don't want a true, accurate, complete history to be taught because, frankly, they want to whitewash history and make everyone feel comfortable rather than learning and grappling with the complicated family trauma that is Virginia and American history.
Isn't that history also Virginia's history, though? And furthermore, American history? Isn't that how we should be thinking about it?
That's exactly how we should be thinking about it. I mean, Virginia, in and of itself, the birthplace of American democracy, but the birthplace of American slavery, both are part of our legacy. Both need to be taught and both need to be reckoned with. And the first step in that is having an honest conversation about that history so that we can heal and move forward.
So do you think that the honest conversations are actually being able to be had in Virginia? I mean, I do understand that the governor walked his proposals back just a little bit, but that was only after a backlash. Had no one said anything, I feel like the proposal would have stood.
Well, the good news is people in Virginia want this history to be taught. We were beginning to have a reckoning with our history and honest conversations. In some cases, in ways we didn't want to because of the blackface scandals of 2019, because of the murder of George Floyd. But we started to have that conversation, and we need to continue to have that conversation. So I'm not surprised that people were outraged and made their voice heard, and I expect they're going to continue to do so.
So what is next then, Senator? When will Virginia's curriculum proposals be approved and also implemented?
Well, they'll be put before the board again in January. And if they are approved by the board, they will go forward with public comment and a public input session. They won't become final without that public input session. And I encourage everyone watching, particularly Virginia parents, to make their voice heard so that our children can continue to learn a complete, accurate history and not the whitewashed version that I learned in school in the 70s and the 80s.
State Senator Jennifer McClellan, thank you very, very much for being here, our education equity warrior. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Still ahead, y'all, we've got COVID, the flu, and RSV. They're all hitting at exactly the same time while we're all just trying to enjoy inside time with our family and with our friends. So I have asked Dr. Patel to make